So welcome to the October edition of our mentorship webinar. And today we're going to be discussing on strategies for boosting mental health and productivity amongst women. Based on research, it's been shown that women are at greater risk of mental disorders compared to men. And out of every 5 women, 1 woman is prone to being diagnosed with mental illness. And that's the reason for this webinar this month, where we would be exploring the strategies to boost our mental health and also increase our productivity as women. And with us to drive the conversation is Mrs. Osaremen Uba. She's a mental health advocate and she's passionate about mental health and raising awareness and fostering understanding on mental health in communities. She has a strong foundation in psychology and an extensive experience in organizing community workshops and support groups. Osaremen is committed to breaking the stigma surrounding mental health and providing accessible resources for all. And through education and advocacy, she aims to empower individuals to prioritize their mental well-being and seek the support they need. So you are welcome, Mrs. Osaremen. It's great to have you.
Thank you, Dr. It's nice to have you all here. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on this webinar. Boosting mental health and productivity often requires some approach that includes both mental and physical wellness strategies. Today, let's look at the practical strategies. Number 1, practical strategies. Set clear goals and prioritize by breaking larger tasks into smaller steps. Some of us want to do everything at the same time, but it doesn't always work that way. Considering the fact that as mothers and we have children, we want to quickly do a lot of things at the same time. But no, let's take it one day at a time, because I believe in the approach of one day at a time. When you take things one day at a time, you find out that you do a lot. That's where your mental health will even be at par. You don't have to stress it. You don't have to do a lot of things at the same time. Prioritize tasks based on importance and urgency. You have tasks. You start from, like in economics, I'm not too good with economics, but then in economics, there's something called scale of preference. You start from the most important to the least important so that you can do one thing at a time. You don't have to rush everything. Use tools, to-do list, and productivity apps. Like me, I use my calendar most times. I know that I'm prone to forget a lot of tasks I'm supposed to do. So I use my calendar, jot down, set alarm. If you have something to do next week, for example, like this week now, I already have things I listed out I want to do. In order not to forget, or in order not to cluster them or gather them together to do them, you just set an alarm for this day, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just like that. That's how you do it. Then there's another app I normally use. It's called Easy Notes app. It keeps me organized. When you can go to either Google Play Store or iOS and download it. It's called Easy Notes app. It keeps you organized. Number 2, time management. You know, a lot of us, we run out of time. Sometimes you find out that the 24 hours in a day is not even enough for you to do some things. I don't know about you. Sometimes me, 24 hours is not enough for me. So time is very essential. There's something called Pomodoro technique. That is, work for 25 minutes, take a 5 minutes break. After 4 sessions, take another longer break. That's called Pomodoro. You can use Google to check it out. Allocate specific time of the day for different activities. If you have, for example, from 6 to 12 p.m. in the afternoon, you can say, okay, by 8 o'clock, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. You allocate that time. You set a timing for different activities that you are going to do. Okay. So set different time for different activities you want to do during the day, so that you don't end up rushing. At the end of the day, you find out that when you rush, you don't achieve a lot. I don't know. So just set different time. Then multitasking. Over time, research has shown that multitasking, a lot of us as mothers, I used to be like that. You want to do a lot of things at the same time. You are washing, you are cooking, you are cleaning, You know, you put food on fire, you are rushing to go and wash, you are rushing to go and check on your children. But over time, studies have shown that multitasking is not good for your mental health. So minimize it. When you want to multitask, ask yourself, can I push this thing further? Instead of multitasking, why don't you push it further? Because when you find out that when you multitask, you achieve some things, but you don't achieve it excellently the way you want to achieve it. When you make research about multitasking, you find out that the things you are supposed to achieve at this moment, you have achieved it, or you have cooked, you have washed, you are going to office. But sometimes when you now later sit down, or when you lie down later, you find out that you did not achieve it excellently well the way you wanted it to come out. So please, mothers, women, minimize multitasking. It's not good for your mental health. Tasking, it deals a lot. It deals with your mental health, but you don't know, because you just feel, okay, I need to achieve this thing at a very limited time. Let me cook, let me clean, let me do this, let me do that. And you just do things zigzag. You find out that at the end of the day, you don't achieve things you wanted to achieve. And then regular physical activities, exercise cannot be overemphasized. Exercise is very good for your mental health. Morning sun, you come out, you exercise. Even just walking, sometimes just take a walk, 20 minutes walk. It's very good for your mental health. When you exercise regularly, you find out that you are organized and you are productive during the day. Most times, when you come out and you exercise, you find out that you are more productive that day, because your brain is working excellently well. You have done exercise, you find out that you are more productive. So exercise, it boosts your mental health and it makes you more productive. Mindfulness, please practice mindfulness. Mindfulness in the sense that you relax, yoga, deep breath. Those are what we mean by mindfulness. You sit down, you relax, you take deep breath, you breathe in and out. Yoga, you are silent for a while. And I don't know, a lot of us, I don't know if you know what yoga is, but when you do yoga, your mind works perfectly and it makes you more productive. So please, let's imbibe regular physical activities. It boosts your mental health and it makes you more productive and organized. Adequate sleep. Actually, you are supposed to have at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, at least, to avoid insomnia, to avoid imbalance in your mental health. You need sleep. Sleep is very essential to your mental health. When you sleep at least 7 to 9 hours, you become more productive and you can face the day. Balanced nutrition. Please eat properly. Mothers, we like to give our children, our husbands, our relatives, all the essential nutrients, but neglecting our own self. Balanced nutrition helps to boost your mental health. All these things I'm mentioning, they are just strategies for you. When you eat properly, eat good food, and stay hydrated, drink a lot of water. Water is very essential. Like me now, I have water with me. Drink water. Ensure that you drink a lot of water. So water is very important for you to boost your mental health. Then please limit distractions at work, at home. If you are working from home, let your space be organized. If you are working at work, let your workspace be organized. Your phone, screen time, please. Screen time is something that distracts us. Screen time. Before you sleep at night, ensure that you reduce screen time. You at least take your eyes off your phone for like 2 hours before you finally close your eye to sleep, because screen time affects our brainwave and it's not so good for our mental. I know a lot of us are addicted to our phone. So please, let's limit screen time. When you want to sleep, please reduce your screen time. Let your phone be far away from you. Then you can now sleep. Avoid distractions, avoid things around you, please. So these are just basic strategies to boost your mental health. I'm very sure that a lot of us have learned a lot, because this is where we are stopping today. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, thank you so much, Sarah.
Okay.
Thank you. When it comes to the issue of mental health. Many people, in fact, in this current dispensation, it has been, in quotes, overflogged, any little thing, because of my mental health, because of my mental health. But a lot of people also need to understand that there are some little things that if you make adjustment to, can actually tilt you from being at risk of developing mental illness. And you mentioned a few things, and I have a question. You talked about adequate sleep. I want to use myself as an example because of the kind of work I do, practicing as a doctor. Over time, I began to have like some problems sleeping. My sleeping pattern was quite difficult. I can't sleep during the day. It's even now I'm trying to learn to sleep, like have a little nap, even if it's for 30 minutes, for 1 hour. But I really struggled with sleep. You talked about having 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Like, what are for people that struggle with having adequate sleep, like for 7 to 9 hours straight? Is it that when we sleep, we should sleep from 7 to 9 hours at a go? Then for those that may be struggling with initiating sleep, I know you've talked about reducing screen time. What other thing can we do to be able to ensure that we improve on our sleep pattern as women? Because especially for postpartum mothers, women that may be nursing like a baby, they are juggling so many things. It can be hard to get women to actually have a good sleep pattern. So what practical things can we do to improve on our sleep pattern as women?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Actually, as women, especially, okay, let me come to the aspect of, let's divert. Let me come to the aspect of our regular women that don't have a baby at hand, are not postpartum. So when it comes to sleep, there are so many things you can do to initiate sleep. For example, studies have shown that dark room enable you to sleep better. Light is not so good for sleep. When you want to sleep, sometimes you can put off all lights around you. Let the room be dark. Like I said, like screen time. You don't need your phone to distract you. You can even put your phone on silent. If you don't have any important call you're expecting, put it on silent. Let your screen be reduced. Then you make the room to be dark, make your environment calm, let there be ventilation, then you see that you can sleep. But there are sometimes that you have sleep disorder. That's another topic on its own. There are people that struggle with sleep. I can see that there are a lot of people that struggle with sleep. So when you want to sleep, just limit screen time. Then for postpartum mothers, it's not really easy. That's why a lot of times you need help. You need help around you. So when you have help, you can easily tell this person, okay, please help me hold baby. I want to sleep. Then make sure, okay, if you are not getting enough sleep at night, make sure you get sleep during the day. Like you talk about 30 minutes nap. I do that also. I make sure that during the day, at least, I don't really sleep during the day too. I struggle with sleeping during the day, but at night I sleep well. So during the day, even if it's 30 minutes, I try as much as possible to force myself to sleep. So please, let's make our environment cool, calm, and enable us to sleep better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There's also another question on regular physical activity and exercise. Many women too struggle with having an exercise routine. So what ways would you recommend that we cultivate improving on our physical activity and developing an exercise routine that works?
Okay, thank you for that question. You know, when it comes to exercise, to me, it's all about discipline. You can never say, okay, I struggle with exercising. It's discipline. When 30 minutes a day is enough for you to do something, at least to juggle up your spirit, to balance your health. So as a mother, as a woman, you are supposed to have this discipline of, okay, every day I take out 30 minutes to do exercise for myself. I'm doing it for my mental health. I'm not doing it for anybody. You have that discipline that, okay, it could be in the morning when you wake up, you just go for a walk or you go for jogging. or it could be within the week. When you come back from work, you go for running, you go for jogging. So let's develop the habit of physical activity, also known as exercise, so that your mental health, because as a woman, it's not easy. You do a lot. So you need your brain, you need your body to be balanced. You need physical activity. You need a lot of activity to balance your health. So that's it. It's all about discipline anyway. I will still say it again. Exercise is all about discipline. Just take out time. You have time for some things. You have time for exercise. It's balance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To those who are just joining in, you're welcome to this webinar session on strategies to boost mental health and productivity for women. So our guest has spoken and basically went straight to the point to point out about 7 strategies that we should adopt as women. The first thing is to prioritize tasks based on our level of importance, and also using of tools, apps and tools that can help to increase productivity. Then she also mentioned time management. It's important to, when you walk for about 25 minutes, you take a break before you resume work again. Then she also mentioned regular physical activity and exercise. Then practice mindfulness, relaxation techniques, yoga. Sometimes just take out some time to be in a quiet space. Also improve on your taking a lot of water, eating healthy and balanced diet, then also minimizing and limiting the distractions, reducing of screen time, and improving of organization. So basically, we're asking questions at the moment. And I also have another question, Ma. With regards to mental health and for women, after we've practiced all these things that you have shared, at what point would you say a woman would need to seek professional help when it comes to her mental health? You know, women go through a whole lot. When you think of having to keep the family together, taking care of the kids, most times women are also working. So combining a lot of things, at what point should a woman seek professional help when it comes to her mental health? Thank you.
Okay, that's a very good question. I think a woman should seek professional help when she is losing it. There are so many signs when it comes to mental health. The most common form of mental health disorder is depression and anxiety. So when you find out that you're having these signs include not sleeping well, feeling helpless and hopeless, and always isolating yourself. Like the things you used to like doing, you stop doing them. You just stop doing them. You don't enjoy doing them anymore. These are signs that you need to seek professional help. So, and it's also a sign of depression and anxiety disorder. So a woman should seek professional help when she notices this sign: not sleeping, helplessness, hopelessness, like things you love doing, you just stop doing them. You don't enjoy it, then you isolate yourself. You don't even want to be seeing people. So those are the signs that a woman should look out for and seek professional help when she sees these signs. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Osareme. Thank you for the insights you have shared. I believe women out there who are listening to this have learned practical ways in which we can prioritize our mental health and improve on our productivity as women. So please, before you go, I want you to share your final words with us. What advice, in a nutshell, will you give to women with regards to boosting their mental health?
Okay, please, women, I will say this. I always say this and I will say it again. Please prioritize your mental health, your physical health, and overall well-being by going for regular exercise, doing one thing at a time. Don't rush it. Take one day at a time. Ensure that your mind is always settled in one thing. Don't do a lot of things at the same time. It doesn't always end well. Then love yourself, please. Don't compromise on mental health. It's not something you can compromise on. Make sure you take enough water and stay happy for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you also to our participants for joining in today's webinar. I believe you have gotten a take home with regards to what we have discussed today. So basically, let's make sure we prioritize everything that we have learned today in order to improve our mental health as women and increase our productivity. So we'll be calling it a wrap now. Wishing you a lovely week ahead. Thank you. Good night.